Hey everybody, I'm back. Long overdue for a video. Haven't made one in a couple of months. Um, yeah, some big updates. As you can see, this is not a third generation Trans Am. That car is sold. I sold it to somebody in California back in the beginning of March. And I quadrupled my money off of that car. I only paid $750 for it back in 2019, and yeah, what the guy gave me and what I had into it, I sold it for $14,500. So I didn't have anything into it. I maybe had a couple, maybe not even $2,000, couple grand into it. I painted it myself. The paint was cheap and stuff like that. It was more labor than anything else. Time is money, you know, the old thing. But I decided after 16 third generation F-bodies, I just got to the point where I was tired of them. You can only reinvent the wheel so many times. I have been messing with those cars for 25 years. And it just got to the point where it wasn't fun anymore. Like I said, you can only reinvent the wheel so many times. There's so many different engine and trans combinations you can put in it. There's so many different colors you can paint the car, so many different sets of wheels before it ends up looking like the one you had 5 cars before it, you know what I mean? So that being said, before I really got heavy into the third generation F-bodies, Trans Ams and Firebirds specifically, and before I got really heavy into the Mopar scene, not scene, but you know, was really heavy into Mopars, and I mean real Mopars, the muscle car era, not the new garbage that they have now. I was into Foxbody Mustangs back in the 90s, back when these cars literally ruled the streets. They were at every street corner. Any drag strip test and tune night, any, you know, the whole Pro 5.0 movement back in the 90s. These cars, you'd see 40 of them in the staging lanes, running anywhere from, you know, 10.0s to 14s or 15s. I've had 6 Foxbody Mustangs since the 90s, and I decided, you know, the prices of them are going up ridiculously, and I don't understand why, but that's not my place to question. So I decided to get another one. This one is an 89 LX hatchback, as you can see, and it's an original 112,000 mile original lifelong Arizona car, sold brand new at Burge Ford in Mesa, Arizona. The car is factory Riata blue metallic, with gray interior. I mean, the interior is pretty clean. I mean, it could, you know, use some cleaning up a little bit. But the car itself, you know, as a 34-year-old, I guess, survivor, condition-wise, if you will, it's as cleaner than anything you're gonna find for the most part. It's got the GT style seats, with a big headrest, power lumbar, everything. When I got the car, it was an AOD, original AOD car, and it was bone stock. It had 10 holes on it. It was 327 gear posi. The guy, when I got it, it had an Explorer upper and lower on it, which is the same as the GT40, you know, the tubular or the Cobra, with the exception of, you know, obviously external appearance. The Explorer manifold is quite a bit uglier. But anyway, as it sits right now, it now has AFR 185 heads, 1.7 intake, 1.6 exhaust, trick flow street heat upper and lower, 65 millimeter throttle body, a 70 millimeter mass air meter off of an SN 95 car. Little stuff like, you know, aftermarket aluminum radiator. It's got chrome Max shorties on it, BBK off-road H-pipe, Flowmaster 2-chamber catback, you know, all the typical stuff. You know, since I got the car, you know, all that stuff, and, you know, I lowered it about 1.5 inches in the front. Because, you know, these, for whatever reason, these like the pre-91 Fox bodies, they sat higher in the front than they do in the rear. So, you know, you guys don't have a heart attack, but I cut a coil out of the front springs. I've been doing it my whole life. It doesn't affect the spring rate on a linear spring. It will affect it on a progressive spring. The factory springs are a linear rate spring. So you could cut 2 coils off, you can cut a half a coil off. It does not change the spring rate. It does not change the ride quality of the car. So all that being said, I did all that stuff engine wise. It is still running the stock cam, the stock HO cam, which is more than adequate for a good running car, especially with a good set of heads and a good top end. Guys back in the 90s, mid 90s, were touching 10s with a stock cam on motor. So, you know, I mean, I'm not really looking to, you know, pull the heads off and fly cut the pistons and everything. A lot of people say that the 185 heads with the 202 valves won't clear the stock pistons, the stock fly cuts on the pistons. They clear. Like I said, I've got 1.7s on the intakes and 1.6 on the exhaust. 39 thousandths head gasket. They clear. You know, and like I said, it's for anybody saying, "Oh, those are stock heads." They're AFR heads. You know, they're. But I also put a stick in the car shortly after I got it. You know, of course, you're gonna beat on the car a little bit and everything. You know, I put 373s in it, and I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace actually that had a 5-speed out of a I think I'm going to say an 87 or 88, and the input shaft was broke. So I picked it up for $100. Had the bell housing, the block plate, the shifter, everything. Pulled it apart. I put an input shaft in it. I picked up an input shaft brand new for $70, and I put a new cluster gear in it. That ran me about $80. I did all the bearings and everything, synchros and stuff like that. And I mean, the trans is perfect. You could power shift this thing at 6,000 RPMs. It doesn't grind. It doesn't, you know, doesn't miss a beat. Doesn't make any noises or anything like that. You know, but like I said, it's a super clean car, ice cold air conditioning. The only other thing I'm going to do to it, I mean, I got to do a little cosmetic stuff like this because you know, the little seatbelt sleeves are Arizona heat. You know, did its work to them. Is the you know, the typical heater core, which isn't as bad as people say. You know, it's there's worse jobs to be doing. You know, it's probably a half a day thing, you know, taking your time, pull the dash out and stuff like that. But yeah, little stuff. You know, these little plugs are missing. I got to get the plugs for the screws and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a super clean car. You know, the guy gave me a ton of extra parts with it too. He gave me a set of 3-bar GT40 heads that I got rid of right away. Had some extra parts here and there. I think he gave me like 2 sets of struts, new rear shocks, quad shocks, stuff like that. It's got the, you know, original roll-up cargo cover in it. Still works. All the original VIN stickers are on the car. It's never been wrecked. It's the original paint, all down to the original pinstriping. But yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I wanted something. I've got a bad habit of, you know, I'll buy a car, I'll build the car, I'll repaint the car, I'll restore the car, and I'll get rid of it. And then, you know, 6 months later, I'll go buy the exact same car and do all the same stuff to it all over again. And like I said, going back to the 3rd Gen F body, you know, it just got old. They weren't really, from an appearance standpoint, they're beautiful cars. They're absolutely beautiful cars. But they're just not, what am I trying to say? They're just not a good car to build. I mean, they're heavy, they're big. I mean, you know, unless you're going like for a full, like a dedicated, you know, race car, whether it be autocross, drag strip, something like that. I mean, yeah, you can LS swap them and stuff like that, or, you know, a Gen 3 truck motor, you know, 5.3, 6.0, 4.8, something like that. but they're just not, they don't hold up well. You know, they don't age well. I mean, Jesus, those things, you know, they were 10 years old, and the interior was like, they disintegrate. The quality of the materials, the fit and finish. I mean, you know, even, you know, you frame tie them, you stiffen them up, you know, strut brace, stuff like that. They're just still loose. They're noodly. You know, they creak, they rattle. You know, especially the T-top cars. But I mean, I can go on and on. But anyway, I decided to, you know, I was watching the prices of these Fox bodies go back up, not back up, but go up and skyrocket. And I decided to, you know, it's like, hey, get rid of what I'm tired of and get something that you know, something else that I'm also familiar with and I know. And, you know, so that's what I did. And I've been driving the car for, God, 3 months now I've had it. And, you know, I absolutely love it. I love the color. Because my other ones that I had 3 white ones. Jesus, what color were they? I had 3 white ones, 2 red ones, and a wild strawberry. And oh no, one red, one wild strawberry. So, but I mean, you know, looking under the car, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not an undercoat car, obviously, because it's from Arizona. And the floors, you could literally eat off the floors. There's no rust. It's never been wrecked. I mean, the floors are absolutely perfect. The torque boxes, everything. Obviously, you know, if you tear up torque boxes with an AOD on street tires, then you're doing something. But yeah, I just wanted to give a a little update video that I'm out of the 3rd gen F body thing. I'm definitely out of the crossfire injection game. That's not to say that I won't, you know, be more than willing to answer any questions or help people out or anything like that. You know, it's just, like I said, you can only reinvent the wheel so many times. You know, I mean, I went and picked up all their correct, you know, starter relay, coil cover decals and stuff like that, airbox decals, just as I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, the car's straight as an arrow. It's all original. It's got a couple nicks and dings and chips and stuff like that in it, but it's an 89, so it's, you know, it's been around, but it is 112,000 original miles, documented miles. I have all the paperwork for it. I have all the original dealer brochures and advertisements and everything. You know, so like I said, it's a nice car. It, you know, it runs good. It drives good. It's as it sits right now, on a good tire, it would, you know, and that's to say if we had a drag strip around here, it would be a bottom 12-second car. And it gets 20 miles per gallon and has 40-degree air conditioning. You know, so like I said, it's just something, you know, it's different to me, just because it's been so long since I've had one. You know, but like I said, with where these cars are going price-wise, it's kind of one of those things where get one now while you can get one, and, you know, or watch everybody else have fun with theirs, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I just want to give an update, fill everybody in, you know, on where I've been and stuff like that, because like I said, it's been a good couple of months since I made an actual in-depth video about anything. You know, so I figured I'd throw this up there and see what you guys think. But yeah, as of right now, you know, I've got the Mustang, and I've still got my 67 Chevelle, which is kind of doubling as a shelf right now. But you know, I'll address that at another time in a video and everything. But like I said, let me know what you guys think. Definitely comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you want to see more of with this car or the Chevelle. And I'll be happy to put some videos up for you guys. All right, catch you later.